If you are working a lot with mocaps, then you maybe know one thing. Mocaps aren't perfect. Things like foot sliding, knee popping, false alignments, and stuttering are happening on a daily basis, but it's very hard to improve them. So I worked for a longer time now on an add-on that can analyze the complete motion and improve it. So maybe it can also help you. In the description you can find a link to the free tools page on my website where you can download all free add-ons. After we install the add-on, it's shown with the name Mocap Cleaner in the add-on preferences and then also here in the end panel. And here's everything we can adjust. So basically at first we have a dashboard where we can activate all functions we want to use for the correction. And every function has a separate section where you can do further adjustments if you want. And directly under the dashboard section, we have the controller section. And this is very important for the functions to work correctly. So at first you have to make sure that the right names of the controllers are standing here for the root, head, and so on. If you want, you can also save presets or load presets to make it easier for you. So then let's take a quick look at the different functions. And first of all, we have the smoothness function. And this is super useful if you have some stuttering in the movements or whatever, then it's a very good way to smooth it out without losing too much of the expressions. And what we can adjust here is the smoothing window and the outlier sensitivity. The smoothing window means the time period the add-on takes into account for each keyframe. So if you set this higher, then it will take a larger frame range into account for the analyzation. But be careful with the setting, because if you set this too high, then it will try to equalize the keyframes more, and this will result in too smoothed out movements in some cases. And then we have also the outlier sensitivity, and this means the direct strength of the correction. So if you set this higher, then the general correction will be stronger. And beside that, you can also activate an extra cleanup function if you want, which deletes every second frame or the number you have set here. This is useful if you don't want to have so many keyframes or want to smooth it out even more, because then it also sets the interpolation of the curves to Bezier, and sometimes this can help too. But of course, be careful and don't set it too high. And if you also have keyframes between frames and only want a clean keyframe per frame, then you can also activate this checkbox, and then it will make all keyframes new at the end. Then let's go to the next section, because here we can control how we want to improve the start frames. First of all, we can decide if we want to have the improvement only for the location or rotation of the controllers. But what do I mean with improving start frames? So like here, for example, oftentimes with mocaps, we have the problem that the alignment of the controllers isn't correct in the first frames. So like here, I have the hands, and if I press on play, then as you can see, they are rotating into the right position in the first frames. And yeah, I don't want that, obviously. So what I can do is I just check hand left and hand right. And here's the number of frames the analyzation takes into account. You can change it if you want, but 10 is a good value in most cases. I can here take a look, and at the 10th frame, the rotation is correct. So that should be fine. And then here, just to show you, if I only check improve start frames and click on improve motion, then here the alignment is correct now. But I will reset the motion because we will do the improvement later for all functions together. Then we have the foot alignment section, and here we can control if the alignment and improvement should be only for the foot or also for the toe. So like here, for example, if we take a look, the alignment of the foot and also of the toe is completely false, because the one foot is standing in the ground and it should be horizontal, and then also the toe should be horizontal here. But I will show it to you later how it will be improved. Then we have the footlock section, and here we can define if the position and rotation of the foot should be fixed if the foot is standing on the ground. And this is also super useful because oftentimes with mocaps we have the problem that the foot isn't really fixed on the ground if it's standing there. And obviously that's a big problem, especially if you have close-ups and whatever. But the add-on can automatically detect all foot contacts and then automatically locks it. It even takes the drift into account during the foot lock and corrects it for all keyframes that are coming later. So like here, for example, if the foot is sliding a bit forward beside the foot contact, then it will take that into account and correct the keyframes afterwards so that the person is standing a bit more behind so that, yeah, the foot is standing correctly there. And yeah, here are some parameters you can change. Every parameter is explained, so I won't explain it here in the video, but yeah, you can just hover over it and then there's standing what it makes. And last but not least, we have the knee popping section, and here you can define the number of max iterations. Normally I would always leave it to 10, set it only higher if it can't correct the popping enough in the first round. And then we could also restrict the frame range for the improvement if we want. So here we can set a start and end frame and also a blend in and blend out. But for now, I want to have the improvement for all frames. Okay, then it's time to test it out, I would say. First of all, I will play the original animation I got from the mocap file to show you all the problems. So first of all, we have the wrong foot alignment here. So the foot should be horizontal and then also the toe, of course. Here also the toe should be horizontal. Then we also have, yeah, quite a stuttering and driving foot. So the foot isn't really fixed on the ground. And then at the beginning, we also have the wrong alignment of the hand. And if I click on play, then as we can see, we also have some strange stuttering here with the arms. So here and here. And also, yeah, this is quite a huge stuttering. So yeah, we have to take a look later if it can adjust it enough or if we have to set this higher than maybe in this case. But yeah, quite buggy everything. And we also have here, yeah, the knee popping and yeah, everything isn't really smooth here. And the cool thing is you can see the progress of the analyzation and improvement in real time. So let's try it out now. So it's done. Depending on the complexity of the animation and how long it is, it could take up to several minutes, but in most cases it will take about 30 seconds, I would say. And then if we take a closer look, then we can see that the foot alignment is correct now and also the toe alignment. And yeah, it's also fixed on the ground if the foot is standing. Perfect. And also the hand is corrected at the beginning. And if we press on play, then also the stuttering here is gone on this arm and also on the other arm, which was here. And yeah, if I press on play, then probably the this huge stuttering is still there. So we would have to set this maybe higher, but yeah, it isn't really counted as stuttering here. But if you set it higher, then it will also smooth it out even more. And then we also don't have the knee popping here. So perfect. The foot still wobbles a bit during the transition phase of the second step, but only because the hip wobbles so strongly here. Yeah. And yeah, it's standing perfectly still here. Yeah. So I hope you liked it. It took really a lot of development time until everything worked correctly. And I hope it can help you as much as it helped me in the last months. And yeah, just try it out. And like every tool, it also has its limits, of course, but I'm sure it can oftentimes really help you.